Just a few extra hits before the start of this second game. Everything looking rosy for the Welshman. And British squash this week in Manchester.
Interesting how neither of them had anyone between games talking to them in their corner. I mean, maybe you would expect that from Ibrahim, but you'd have thought, Makin being so local, that he would have had someone in his corner advising him.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, Laura. I guess he's just so experienced now, isn't he? But I'll guess if he does get to the final, there'll be someone there tomorrow. But who knows? He's doing pretty well on his own, isn't he? Remember Ross Norman, the legendary New Zealand player who was the first person to beat Jahangir Khan. He was world champion back in the day. He had no coach at all.
Between games or just
no?
Ever?
I think he had a coach in the early days, but he definitely had a good 5 years, including that match, beating Jahangir of no coach. And I remember that being quite a big thing. Just like to work it out on his own.
Yeah, I mean, would you say that that's actually quite similar to Makin? Because he has hitting partners, doesn't he? I know does he go over and even work with co-commentator Johnny Williams sometimes, and he's got Dave Evans from the Welsh perspective, and Miles Jenkins, I think, as well, but kind of don't associate him with a full-time coach, do you? Someone who just travels with him, you see him in the corner, he would almost be advising him. He does a lot of that on his own.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, I think he does like to, he'll take advice on board and speak to people a lot, like you say. That's a fairly new relationship with Johnny Williams, and that's going well. But yeah, I think he does like to do things on his own. He's quite an independent kind of character.
Well, he's doing a good job, Ibrahim, of taking the middle of the court here away from Makin. A couple of boast options from the Makin racket, certainly out the front corners, just giving Ibrahim angles. I'm surprised that Makin isn't just trying to glue that ball down the wall a little bit more. Oh, he didn't mean that to clip the sidewall, I'm sure.
It was useful though, wasn't it?
It was. Oh.
Leg up.
Who needs the other knee?
Yeah, Makin's just got to be as robust as possible here, hasn't he? And keep the ball straight, frustrate his opponent, not give those angles. Oh, it's a miss hit, but he's got it up.
Yeah.
Oh, here we are, Manchester, fantastic crowd here, so knowledgeable. One of the largest squash leagues in the world with Northwest counties. Lots of kids here watching as well. Fantastic weekend of squash. Of course, with the finals tomorrow.
4-2.
That's just perfect, isn't it? Can't really argue with that, Laura.
No, he's hit some absolutely fantastic winners in this game, cut the errors out a little bit, and kind of feel like he's just going with Makin a little bit more, don't you?
Oh. Just caught the frame on the no look.
That's going to stick, Parky. The no-look cross-court volley nick backhand.
Service, please.
Just didn't work this time, did it? But it will do, I think, at some point. He did it yesterday, didn't he?
I mean, we're having the same conversation here as yesterday in terms of the sweating of Makin on the court. Ibrahim not happy with his foot movements and the sweat that's underneath his shoes. So I think that's fine, isn't it, to just stop making a heavy, heavy sweater.
Yeah, safety first, absolutely.
4. Yes, lad.
There's no effort there.
By review, Makin on the yes-led decision.
It's a bad shot.
This is interesting, isn't it? Because it's a let ball and both players are not happy. Ibrahim reviewing it for a stroke, and I think Makin thinking that he would like a no-let, really. So normally it's a yes-let if that's the case, isn't it?
Sure. I feel like Ibrahim should have gone and played this. You know, I think he could have done the squash dance, you know, both players just knowing where the ball is and just get behind him a little bit and play that ball.
Yes, lad. Decision upheld. Makin has 1 review remaining.
Maybe Makin could have helped out a little bit more there.
3, 4.
Not enough height on that lift from Makin, but he's got away with it.
Down. 4 all.
I thought I saw the knee go in a little bit of a funny position. He's very open, isn't he, with his foot placement when he lands. I wonder if that's anything to do with the knee when it goes in quite quickly into the floor of the foot. If you can take a little look, even on that return of serve, the left foot is pointing almost towards the glass. It's kind of a bit of an unnatural movement, whereas if you watch the foot placement of Makin, it's facing the left-hand blue wall of the glass, more of a natural movement.
Yeah, he does have a very open forehand stance.
Yeah, we'll see it, particularly on the left leg. Toes pointing towards the back wall.
Oh, good reaction there from Makin.
I wasn't sure about that ball. We will play a lead. No, well, it was close. I wasn't sure. We need to play a lead. 4 all.
Well, both players not impressed here at all. Absolutely convinced that they're in the right. Just Joel Makin absolutely convinced it was out of court.
Mr. Ibrahim, this is how it is, you know. If I'm not sure, I keep the rally continue, and then you can appeal, or one of you at the end. 4 all. Just no more comments, please. Continue right side, 4 all. Now.
Just by your foot.
I think it's gone in someone's beer, Laura.
Five, 4. Yes, left. 5, 4.
See, Ibrahim's starting to get a little bit frustrated here. And with himself there.
4.
Well, it's 2 errors off return of service. Pretty poor by anyone's standards. It's just frustration, though, isn't it? Pure frustration from Makin physicality. And, oh, it's 3.
7, 4.
And they are identical, aren't they? Top of the tin on the volley drops.
And this is exactly what Joel Makin will know that Ibrahim will do. He knows he's a shot maker. He knows he's sort of got a bit of a niggle. How bad it is, he's not sure, but he knows that there's a breaking point. But on the flip side, he's incredibly talented with the racket, Ibrahim, as we know, so he has to weather the storm, Joel Makin, which he's quite prepared to do. This is a tough rally for him. That's good chasing down there from the Welshman. Ibrahim doing everything to keep turning the screw.
This is a hard rally from these two. Full court stuff. Oh.
This will be so frustrating for Ibrahim if he can't win it. He's been dominating this rally.
Yes.
It's going to be a let ball.
It's going to end on a let.
Has to be a let.
I review Ibrahim on the yes let decision.
Well, I mean, it's not a winner, is it? I don't know what he's thinking here, Ibrahim. I think maybe just tiredness, frustration, because he had Joel Makin under the cosh here completely. Total domination of that rally.
He just started hitting the ball harder and harder and harder, and I think, yeah, just wanting Makin to perhaps go through and play it, but it's going to stay as a yes let.
Yes let, decision upheld. Ibrahim has 1 review remaining. 7-4, left yes.
See whether or not he can put Makin under that sort of pressure again in this next rally.
No let. You just ran into him. You need to go more to the ball.
Where do I go? Where?
Just no more comments. I gave you my explanation. There'll be no other comments, or I'll use the code of conduct. 8-4.
Like I said, Laurie does get a little bit frustrated with the referees as he gets a little bit more tired on the court, Ibrahim. And it is frustrating against Joel Makin, I can tell you that.
Yes, let. 8-4.
I mean, that one's slightly different. Makin kind of came across his line a little bit. The one before I sort of agreed of because it ran down the wall and he needed to go more towards the right-hand side wall, but there Makin's played it and come very square. So yes let given. Ibrahim not even happy with the yes let, he wants a stroke there.
Well, I mean, you could look at it 2 ways. You could say, isn't he through? Should he go and play that? And some referees will say, well, it's a stroke because Makin's not cleared enough. Let's see what they say, and it's a stroke in this case.
Ibrahim, decision overruled. Ibrahim has 1 review remaining. Hand out.
You can kind of see both arguments really with that one. It's just, sometimes you get those.
Well, that's what's part of squash, isn't it? It is down to how you see it. It's not black and white. There's always going to be an opinion bias in there.
Stroke to Ibrahim. His line was through you.
Makin taking that one on the chin. He's not asking for an explanation.
Important point here for both players.
Got to be careful with that trickle boast, Makin.
This is a very use of Ibrahim rally, isn't it? Definitely think that Joel Makin wants to sort of steady the ship here a little bit.
He's trying, Parker, he's trying.
Straighten up. There's just so many angles, aren't there?
It's so hard not to get dragged in, isn't it, when the ball's being sprayed all over the court.
But the other thing that is that Joel Makin is such a great athlete too, so he's just going to keep picking it up and see what happens. Oh, so you got that one. I mean, most players wouldn't get that boast back. Oh my word, Laura, that was just ridiculous. He's not impressed, but everyone else is. Particularly the kids, they love to see a little bit of skill at the front of the court. I think that's taken quite a bit out of Ibrahim, even though he was making all the play, really. You're just feeling the glute a little bit, the left glute, just stretching out,
No,
unsurprisingly.
Yeah, he's just checking if his hamstring's still connected to his body after that lunge and slide. How do you do that?
I mean, normally you'd flick it with speed as well, but time stood still, didn't it, as it went across to the right-hand side, and so did Joel Makin.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday we looked at
8.
that Ibrahim knee, and the treatment he was actually getting from the physio seemed to be more on the quad glute area, didn't it? So maybe there's a secondary kind of compensatory injury going on there.
Yeah, quite possibly. It's a strange shot, wasn't it, from Makin? Caused himself all sorts of problems with that shot.
He's played it a lot as well. I don't know if it's, I think,
Right,
Parky,
please.
a little bit of lack of confidence on his backhand drop, just running that ball in nice and tight, straight.
Possibly. I mean, it doesn't really often go that low, does it? It's a strange kind of way of doing it. That trickle boast, and Ibrahim was all over it.
Just left.
He wants to watch it here, Ibrahim.
And Mr. Ibrahim, please do not speak before I give my decision. Thank you. 8-all.
Some extra seats there for the crowds, just getting closer and closer to the court and the atmosphere.
Down.
Oh, that's unusual. Rare as hen's teeth, that for Joel Makin.
9-8.
Very, very stingy with the unforced errors usually, but this is a tough match. Ibrahim having a go here in this second game.
Down. Hand out. 9-all.
We expect it a little bit more from Ibrahim because he's such an attacking, aggressive player, and when he plays well, obviously the winners are very high count against the errors, but this is absolutely crucial here at 9-all in the second game.
I don't know how much he meant about that forehand volley drop from the Ibrahim racket. It kind of seemed to be very loose, but a bit shorter than maybe he meant, but it's given him game ball.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit fortunate there for Ibrahim. Get the odd little bit of luck here and there in these matches. He'd love another bit here in this game ball rally. Oh, he just cuts in.
Stroke to Makin.
Why?
Well, you prevented his shot.
It's not prevented.
It is.
No, it's not.
Hand out. 10-0. A player must win by 2 points.
So into the tie break now, Laura. After that stroke, and he's got to reset a little bit now, Ibrahim. So Laura, if Makin does win the second game, do you think that he will win in 3?
Video referee decision on Mr. Makin.
Well, I don't know, Parker. It was your prediction in 3.
I think you went with me, didn't you, for 3?
I did,
3
yeah.
love.
If you have a little look at this video referee decision, he pushes him into the ball slightly, doesn't he? Makin doesn't let him out, and so therefore Ibrahim looks a little bit closer to the ball than perhaps he would otherwise be. What do you think?
I think it's a let ball. You?
I think I'll let it be a fair decision. It's, again, just whether he's given him the line or not, but he's gone on him very heavy, hasn't he?
He has. I just think it's a simple let. I mean, that's the outcome that Makin wanted, obviously.
We felt you were in his direct line to that ball.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I'm barely finishing my shot, and he's pushing me. This is a very cheap story.
Yeah, but still, if you hit a shot, you need to give him an access. The quality of your shot decides.
I mean, my point was probably exactly the same as Ibrahim's there, in that as soon as that shot had been hit, Makin was on his back, not allowing him to clear the shot. But I guess it ultimately comes down to the quality of the ball that Ibrahim's hit.
So a game ball here in this tie break to Joel Makin, and he's gone for it. Rush of blood to the head, and he smashed it into the tin. Absolutely furious, and our prediction, Laura, is still looking very good here. 3 love potentially for the Golden Tiger. Joel Makin marching off to his corner, where he will have his own counsel. So Makin taking that second game in a tie break, 12-10 in 23 minutes. He leads by 2 games to love.